Good morning, everyone. Carol just signed off, and didn't she do a great job, you guys? I had so much fun over at the Magical Touch Studio. And if you aren't subscribed to Carol, I would encourage you to go on over there and get subscribed because she's teaching a lot in hand stitching if you are interested in that. And she's going to start doing watercolors. So that's something to look forward to. And a bunch of other things. She's got a lot of things in her mind spinning around. So it'll be fun to see what she brings us next Saturday. Now I do a dirty dozen, which is 12 prompts on my envelope. And I need a tag and an ATC as well for a swap I got myself signed up for in Dawn's group, Let's Make a Mess, over on Facebook. Let me turn the autofocus off because it's driving me bonkers. I just quickly decided to do this so nothing's prepared. Oh, and it's not giving me camera controls. That is weird. So that means we're going to have to deal with the camera going in and out. Sorry, guys. Occasionally it does this where it won't let me turn the autofocus off. So I've got a little bit different setup. Basically, I'm working on the end of my table. I got to move the camera over just a little bit so I can bring the laptop where I can see you. Hi, Marty. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Barb. So I've got my little cards out that we created over time when I was still living up at the cottage. And this is just a recycled mini box of Russell Stover's candy that I've covered. See, there's the old label. And I just covered the top with strips of leftover painty papers and then put some letters on there. And there you go. That's my storage. These are the cards we made together. So I'm going to step around here to the end. I think I'll get my mat because I'm going to stand to do this. I got one of these awesome mats at Costco. It's very squishy under feet. All right. Good morning, everyone. Saddlebags, I do not recognize your name, but welcome. And if you would, let us know your name if you would like to share it. I know some people want to go by their screen names only. So welcome anyway. Hi, Sue. Hi, Allie. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the prompts on my envelope, but then any extra paint or whatever I have that's extra will go on my card and my ATC card and my tag. So I'm going to be working on all three at once. So I always, when I'm in a swap, I like to decorate the envelope. And the envelope size for this swap is a 6x9. And I had one, thankfully, laying around. I'm going to bring you guys over just a little bit more because you don't really need to see the cards as much as what I'm doing. I'm trying a new setup, so bear with me. All right, so what we do is we're going to draw 12 cards, one at a time. So we have to do whatever's on the first card. And then when we're done with that, we'll pick the next one. Prompt game, right? All right, so I'm going to set these over here so I don't get more paint on them. And the first card says blue. So what I'm going to do is everything will be covered in blue of some sort. And you can use multiples of the color. So I might get 2 different blues. And I cover everything. So the front of the tag, the front of the ATC, and both sides of the envelope. So it'll take me a minute to do that. I need a piece of wax paper to use as my palette. I've got drop paper down. And blues. To cover an area, I usually just will grab the blues and a scraper of sorts, a credit card, an old credit card, old gift card, or my favorite, Bondo spreader, because it spreads a lot quickly. And my swap partner put on there that her favorite colors are blue. So this is working out good. And she likes turquoise. So I've got a deep turquoise and then I've got some of this Bahama blue. And I'm going to use those two. I'm going to close this door so I'm not bothering Scott. He's trying to watch videos in the den, and I'm yakking in here. So I'm just going to put some paint down. Hi, Nettie. Hi, Carol. There's not much of this Bahama blue. This needs to go on my list of repeat colors that I want to make sure I pick up. So I'm just going to put some of that down. Nothing fancy. I'm not putting any on these two items because I'll just use my leftovers. Okay, that's got blue on it, and I'll set it aside. Pick up some of this I got over on my drop cloth, and then I'll just put some on my tag. And on my tag in ATC, I might not put a complete coverage. I might just do the wipe off of these. So I've got a partner in Dawn's group that I've never met her before. And so now we need to, I'm going to put this on wax paper. I'm going to go ahead and flip my envelope. It's not dry. I'm not going to do the tab of this. Put a little of this on. Because I'm doing 12 prompts, I always like to do them as quick as I can. And you don't necessarily have to go all the way up to the top either, because the flap will come over. We don't want to paint our envelope closed. I'm going to put a little bit more of this on here. There we go. We got some of that Bahama blue. One of my favorite colors. See, I got enough now left over here. I can bring my ATC in. And this is just a little piece of watercolor. It's one of those ATC backgrounds you could get at Michael's on a power panel at one time. One of those little side panels on the end. They didn't sell, so I picked these up for clearance price. When they went clearance, I just bought a bunch of them. So I'm just, again, I'm not going to cover the whole thing. All right. Smooth this out where it went from the back to the front. I like to put my hand in and open it up so there's air in there. And then I'm just going to kind of prop it up on the paint jars and let it dry a little bit. And I'll scrape up some more of this off here. I'll bring my tag back in. Add a little bit more. It's Leslie. Okay, awesome. I am so looking forward to sharing my stitching, even though I'm so far behind Carol. But I'm going to try to get caught up. We do have some things, we've got to get done around here. For anybody that's new, we're remodeling our hall bathroom too. So I will have to help Scott with that in a little bit. But I think our first project after I get off here is going to be to fix the fence where the neighbors just had a new fence put up, and our little section from our house over to their fence, they left about an 8-inch opening, just big enough for a blind Cocker Spaniel to get out. So we got to take care of that. And I've got to move some rocks. So I'm hoping this pinch in my lower back lets up because I have to lift rocks. All right, prompt 2. I probably ought to write these down on something so I can put them in the description. I've got a pen and Post-its right here. So number 1 was blue. Number 2 says or as they say in UK, says scallops. 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 I have a stencil that has a scalloped edge. I'm kind of hoping I find my label maker while I'm doing this prompt session. I was fussing at Carol about misplacing her scroll, and then it was like, oh, now I can't find my label maker, so I guess I shouldn't be throwing stones. I was laughing. I was like, that'll teach me. I'm just pulling out my stencil book, my binder, my huge binder. It's a long piece. Let's see, here we go. They stick out, so a scalloped border. Let me look and see. I think this one here says more scallops than any of them. This one's pretty though, but that to me says scallops. So I'm going to use that one. So I will need a sponge, and of course I've moved everything in here. So I'm thinking maybe a different blue and stick with the blue color, but just a different blue for the scallops. Maybe that one doesn't have much in it. I need something that I can get some out. Let's see if this cobalt will work. It's kind of dark, but hi, Gail. Oh, thank you, Carol, for putting in the prompts. That's awesome. And I just put a little glob over here on my wax paper. When I'm doing these prompt sessions, I keep whatever I use on the table in case after I'm done with the prompt session, I want to use those colors again. Because usually on the envelopes, for anybody that's new, I do these backgrounds, these Dirty Dozen backgrounds, and then I pick something. Like at Christmas, I did snowmen, and I hand painted snowmen on my envelopes. Now for spring, I could do a bunny, I could do a daffodil, anything that you could think of that's spring, I will put that on the front. One time I did a baby's head, and it was just the top of the head with some eyeballs, and he was looking up, and he had a little corkscrew, one single hair coming out the top of his head. And then I wrote a wave saying. That's another thing I like to do, where you do a wave and make it go fat and thin, and then write whatever you want and then paint it. So I might do that. We'll see. So let's add some scallops. Remember, this is going to fold over for the flap, so I'm not worried about going above that, but I was thinking this was just wide enough to maybe do a little edge on here. So I'm going to get some paint and then pat most of it off so it's just thin. So I could do like this. And then I'll lift it up, and I have a scallop. I might put one on this other side too. I should have had it go to the outside like that. But because I did it toward the inside, I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. Feels weird being live on a Saturday. But this is kind of Scott's take it easy day for the first part of the day. So I said, why not? I need the envelope, so why not go live? My problem with this setup I'm finding right now is I can't hardly see you guys because you're a ways from me. So I got to rethink of where to put the laptop so I can see the chat better to use this setup. But I want to have a wet area with paper down. And then I want to have my cutting mat available on the same table. So that's why I'm trying this layout. I may need to put you guys on a chair or something off to the side so that I can see it better. All right, so I've got scallops on the front of the envelope. I might put some on the back too, but let's let that dry and we'll put a few on our ATC and stuff. Let's do it down the side of the ATC. And I got way too much paint out, so I'll have to pull out my little composition book that Dee Dee got me started doing. And on this, I'm going to let this come out a little bit with some more. Here we go. And then we got to put some on our tag. Let's see. Let's just put it this way on the tag. Let me think of where I put that little book. I got a little bit too much paint because it's lifting that stencil. So there's part of my tag. And you can also wipe some of your excess off just on your drop paper. And that creates something fun on your drop paper. Let me look real quick and see if I can spot my little composition book. If not, I'll just grab a piece of paper and spread the paint because I'm not going to waste it. This is just a random scrap of paper. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Again, every once in a while I open the envelope up so air gets in there. It helps it with drying, so you can work faster. All right, we'll set that aside to dry. I'm going to bring my tag back in and put some of this dark blue along the top, just here and there. There we go. Get a little color on that tag. I don't know if I can get any of this off on the drop paper or not. And I don't have any water in here, and I can't just throw them in the sink this time. I'm just going to leave all this off to the side and we'll deal with it later. Kathy's here. Teresa, hello. Hello. And Journey. And I said hi to Barb. There's Ann. All right. So I didn't put a scallop on the back of my envelope. I could still probably got enough paint in here that I could just do a random scallop. It's always surprising how much paint one of these sponges holds. See, I could do like that and then maybe do over here. This will give her an option if she wants to cut the envelope up. She can cut some components out of it. Maybe put this one over here. See, I'm still getting a bunch of paint out of here. And if I had my yard more prepared, I'd go to the farmer's market, state farmer's market today because they're having the flower festival. Maybe put just a little bit right here. And see, I'm still got paint. Still got paint. All right. Let's pull another prompt. Prompt 3 says, add flowers. Now you can add flowers any way you want. You can use a napkin. You could stencil. You could paint. Any way you want to add flowers, you can. I have a bunch of stencils, so I might just use some stencils. I need to move that again. No, let's see. I have some just basic flowery stencils. This stencil here It's got hearts and flowers in it. That's made out of the top of an oatmeal can. So you can make your own stencils with your punches and a piece of cardboard for that matter. And you don't wash them, of course. But let's see what I've got here. These are cardboard ones, and I never wash them. And the paint just makes them more and more sturdy. All of these I got, I think, at clearance prices. I don't pay full price. There's some flowers. Let me see what I've got in big stencils, because if I use a big stencil, it covers a lot. Let's see here. I'm just looking through my stencils. Oh, these are some of my favorites. This is on the edge of a big stencil. This would be pretty. And you can, you know, if you're careful, you could do the centers and then the petals a different color. I usually just go for it, and that's what we're going to do. So what colors should I do here? These will be kind of in the background, so I'm thinking something that'll look toward the background. Maybe a peachy color. It would go with the, I'm saying too much. It would go with the blues really good. Let's do pure orange and terracotta. Ooh, too much, as always. Ooh, that pure orange is really thick. Let me get another sponge. And I'm going to kind of mix these together. That orange is really thick. If you wanted to do your flowers spaced out, you could. If you want to cover the whole thing in flowers, you can. But I'm just going to do like on the edge, maybe across the top too. Brenda's got to go. Bye, Brenda. Lisa's here. Hey, Lisa. Linda, welcome. Remember, this is only prompt 3, so it might look like a hot mess at some point. They all do, but in the end, I pull them together. If something starts looking too bright, too intense, all you have to do is knock it back with a bit of white paint or gesso. Let's just put one of these flowers on this ATC. And then we'll put some on this tag here. Maybe do these at an angle. Maybe, oh, it shifted. Cover up some of the tag where I didn't have any paint. Bring this over and cover this. don't like it when I drag the sponge and it looks, I'm just going to dab that. And see, I covered a lot of the blue now, but it doesn't bother me to do that because I know this is only a layer. Now that piece that I spread the blue on, I can come back, clean my stencil off, just put this down and just rub across. Oh, the center of that flower is so fragile. I'm going to have a pile of stencils to wash, and I still haven't cleaned the kitchen from breakfast. So I got to clean the kitchen from breakfast. And then clean all these stencils. That looks like a hot mess, but I've used got the paint off the stencil for a good part of it. And then I guess the rest of this I will just spread on my desktop so that I'm not wasting it. Because for anybody that's new, the drop paper I have under here, when it's completely covered, I will come in and maybe do a little bit more stencils or mark making or stuff. Then I pull it off the table because it's taped down, and I turn this into the backgrounds for cards. Makes cards really fast. I didn't put any on the back of this. I meant to do that. Flappity flap, flap, flap. So I want to put some of these flowers on the back too. Let me see how much paint's still in the sponge like we did last time. Let's just do a strip across the back. I'm just using the paint that's still in the sponge. These sponges hold a lot more paint than you think they do. I'm probably wiggling you guys all over. I'm on the extension of my cutting table, not the main part. And Scott stabilized it with some legs for me, but I'm sure it's still wiggling. All right, ready? Ta-da! See, less paint is better with stencils. It really is. Try to get as much paint back off as you can because then you get a better print. See, that was with a little bit of paint, and those were with too much paint. I mean, these still look okay, but I prefer the way this looks. Less is more, less is more. All right, so we've added flowers. So I didn't write that on here. 3, because I'm going to put this in the description box. Add flowers. Let me see what you guys are saying. Any questions from anybody? Oh, Barb had to go. Okay, bye, Barb. Probably missed you. Yeah, I've got things to do too, so I'm not going to be on terribly long. Oh, Teresa's spinning. Yeah, I'm still showing I'm live, so. Gelatos. If you don't have gelatos, use anything water soluble for gelatos. Let me get some gelatos out. They are with the water soluble stuff in a little box. I love my carts. All my stuff is so nice on there. All right. These are the gelatos I have. So I've got gold, black, white, pink, purple. This is pretty, but I've already got that color on there. It would just disappear. I'm thinking maybe the orange. No, we've already used orange. Let's just use a hint of red. Just make a little mark and then squish it out. I'm just making some random marks and then smudging it out. Is he trapped on the porch? Oh, no. All right. Let's see here. It is cold out there. He's the one that wanted to go out.
I need back in. I'm cold.
Well, go sit with Daddy because I'm busy.
His little tookers are cold.
Well, this cat is so funny. If he gets cold, he'll climb under the covers with us. He'll lay between us up against me and then put his feet into Scott and Need. Let's cover this whites up here. The red. Don't you think about it, little boy. No going outside. I'm just putting enough on here to show that I used it. All right, that's Gelatos. Can't get this to back down. So. All right. All right, flowers. Add Gelatos is number 4. Carol, you're rocking it. Thank you. And now I need a wet one because I've got goop on my fingers.
Add hot sauce.
Do what?
Add hot sauce.
Add hot sauce.
That's everything though.
Oh, I don't think that applies to Art, dude.
Right.
He puts hot sauce on everything. Scrambled eggs.
Cholula is the best.
Cholula hot sauce is the best, according to Scott. He doesn't care for Texas Pete hot sauce. Sorry for Texas Pete lovers. He likes Cholula hot sauce. I want to make sure I don't have that gelato on me. There we go. All right, so here's our envelopes. Did I put some on the back? I did. There's the envelope, the tag, the ATC. And see, I'm getting a different look on each one, using the same thing, but different looks. All right, so prompt 5 says add paint. Now, this is the point where if something's getting too bright, you could actually add some white paint and knock it back, which I'm really leaning toward maybe adding a little white where the addresses are going to go. So let me get some white paint. I should have a bucket of water in here to throw all this stuff in so it doesn't dry down, but I'm going to use some white paint. Don't need a lot, just a little bit, Becky. I'm telling myself that so I don't put out great gobs of it. And then I'm going to use one of my circle stencils to lay out where the addresses are going to go. I like to use the ovals. Here's the ovals. These were from Creative Memories. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? And I just want to put her address in here. Maybe use this one for her address. And then use this one for mine. I'm going to fold this down just so I can see where it folds. And then I'll put this one here for her address. Probably should have put more white paint out. I went too minimal that time. Oh, y'all are welcome. I'm glad you got it. I sent out several packages and I didn't hear if they got there. I think things are getting lost. I mean, Carol sent me an envelope over a month ago, and I just got it this last week. So I just need to be patient. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make this dark. What you need, babe?
I was gonna get my coat. It's probably
It's in the front closet. Meant to take my brother-in-law's jacket to the sister dinner I went to with my sisters because he left it when they came here for my birthday. All right, so there's my addresses. And I can do a little bit of this on here if I wanted to. Maybe add a focal place for something to go on here, like this. So I could take and put maybe some fabric in this circle area, and it would just have like a little faded area behind it. So I'm just using the paint that's in there. So see, it looks mysterious. Ooh. All right. If I did the same thing on this one, what size? Kind of like this size on here. You know what I could do? Make it even bigger. Maybe offset it just a little bit. And knock it farther back on this one. I am so far behind on my Hearts of Love. I need to get busy. I need to make a list of UFOs and things I'm involved in. All right. So see, I'm changing this one just by adding the paint, white paint. And I could knock off some more paint and just go light around it and knock the whole thing back just a little bit. Now, the Gelatos will reactivate with the paint because it's liquid, right? So this side will probably turn a little pink. And so I'm going to give this a different feel. The tag is a different feel. The envelope is a different feel. Just by changing things up just a little bit. I'm going to bring my blue piece back. Might knock my sponges off. And use the rest of this white here. And what I might do is include this piece of just random stuff in my envelope as part of her junk jar stuff. And she can use it any old way she wants to. Hoping Scott's gone to fix the dog fence so that I can put her out and she can play. So save your stuff. Have a piece of paper. See, this is turning out pretty cool too. So I will include this inside her envelope as part of her junk, basically, because it's a junk jar swap. I have my Bits and Bob's book, and Dawn does a junk jar. So that's what we're swapping for, is bits from our junk jars. It's hard for me to say that. I don't know. Got this wet one here. Let's see if we can get some of the paint off. It's pretty dry. I'll set that to be washed. All right. Did I write add paint down on my list? No. I love zinnias. Zinnias and petunias are my favorite flowers, I think. So we had add paint was number 5. Number 6 says Doodle. I might save that. I'm going to save that one for the end. It will still be done, but I'm going to save it as part of my very last thing because that's something I do at the end anyway, is Doodle. So I'll stick this here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a number 7 to do next. Scribble Sticks. Again, if you don't have Scribble Sticks, just use something water soluble. Scribble Sticks are a product from Dina Wakley. These are Scribble Sticks, and I will need water for them. So let me go get my jar. That kitchen needs attention really bad. That'll be my next thing. My back has still got a pinch in it. I don't know. It better let up soon. I'm threatening it now. Anyway, Scribble Sticks are fun because you can, all right, let me show you. You can take a paintbrush and get it wet. Okay. And then just grab a color. Let's use this color, blue. And you can actually just get it wet on the stick. And use it to color like that. Just trying to soften the edge on this circle oval a little bit. And you can use it like a watercolor that way. Or you could use it to just make a mark and then wet the mark. So let me do my ovals on my envelope. All right. Or you can just take it, make a mark like that, and then wet it and spread it out a little bit. Like that. And see what happened there is it mixed with the gelatos because I ran through the gelatos, and I'll probably get a little bit of purple showing there. Not worried about that. You can even do a bunch of spots. Just remember where you put your spots because then you're going to go over it with water. Yes, Tippy? So it doesn't look like I've done much, but there is a different color value there that I can see, and you can see the wet part of it. I'm going to go ahead and stick my hand in my envelope. And this, it might run, but that's okay. That's a different look on it. I'm going to go ahead and just put a little on one side of this, put a little crescent. I guess you could call it a crescent. Color it. And then I'll just get it a little wet. I'm going to knock off most of this water so it's not quite as wet. And just makes it look almost like a glass edge there. Maybe put some at that corner. got it too wet. So you can come back while it's wet and add more color. And I'm getting a nasty purple because it's going through the red. Smush it around with your finger. So I've used the Scribble Sticks in different ways. I put some on the back. It just doesn't look like it. But if you wanted to make it more visible, pick a color that'll actually show. And maybe you could color in some things if you had something to color in. Let's do this scallop on here. My back doesn't like me leaning over. It's going, stand up before I make you hurt badly. I'm just trying to quickly share some different ways that I use these Scribble Sticks. You know what you should do when you get a new product? Read the directions. And when you've read the directions, you can say, I read the directions, and then just start trying to use them any which way you want. I didn't bother putting any over the area where I'm going to put the address. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I didn't want to. The more diluted it gets, the lighter it goes. So control the amount of water that you're adding. I'm not going to bother doing anything like with the scallops on the back of that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of marks with this on this. Like 3 marks. And then just run my paintbrush down through it. Just to add a little bit of something, something. Maybe. There we go. All right, so we did Scribble Sticks. So I'm going to leave these open because you don't want to ever put anything water soluble closed until it's dry, so you prevent fungus. Okay. All right. Scribble Sticks was number 7. Number 8 is use your scraps. Use scraps. Now this can be fabric scraps. It can be paper scraps. Whatever you have that's scraps. Hi, Mary. Sonic the Hedgehog. Bye, Gail. Have a great weekend. After I finish this, my main focus is going to be making the backyard puppy escape proof again. I say puppy, but she's almost 14 years old. So we need to use our scraps. And I've got an envelope under here. Do we want to use painty paper scraps? Or painty paper could be fun. Let's see what we got here. I think I used all my painty paper into my Bits and Bobs book. I think that's what I did. Let me see what I've got in scrapbook paper that might say spring real quick. Because you can glue things to your envelope. I'm looking. I want something springish. Ooh. That's got a little bird on it and everything. Let me see if I've got anything else. I don't want to take a long time picking stuff. Let's see. Ooh. That kind of matches the colors we got going on. And so does that. Let's take those two and throw these back in here. What I'm thinking is I'm going to grab a punch. Oh, I moved the punches. Rearrange my room and now everything's in a different place. Good day, sunshine. Flowers. What is that? What's leaves? Let's see if this one will work for me. This paper is stiff. This paper is kind of flimsy. So what I do when I have a flimsy paper is I fold it in half. I'm just going to punch some flowers out. Oh, this is the one that it sticks in one spot. Do y'all have punches that do that? Let's try folding it one more time. This is really thin paper. Okay, that was too much. Back up, back up. While it's punched and pinched, I will pull the stupid thing out. Come on, let loose. Mail call. All right, so that should give me 1, 2, there's 3, 4, and 5. So that'd be a good count of 5. And then on my tag, I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, and then I need some for the ATC. Maybe I'll do a single flower on the ATC. Oh, see. If I do a single flower and draw a stem, I'm planning ahead in my head. Now I'll put this back in my scrap bucket. Actually, that can go in Bits and Bobs. So I'll just bring it over here and throw it in one of the pockets. I'm not even paying attention to which pocket. And then I want Martha's leaf thing because I need leaves. I'll put this one away. All right, let me see. I wish I could drink flavored coffee, but Scott hates it with a vengeance. And you can glue all this on here with whatever method you choose. Okay. And I need some leaves on these. Oops. I'm going to swap this flower out for this one because this one's a little brighter. And I need some more leaves. What are we on? 8. So, let's see here. All right. Let's start gluing these bad boys down here. All right. Let's do the envelope first. Let's see. Oh, my back. I'm just going to put a puddle of glue all down and use my glue brush here. Thanks, Mary. Okay. I'm trying to think of what can I paint on her envelope after I get this background all done. What do you guys think would go good on here? I'm not going to do it during this live. I'm just doing my background, but I'll take ideas for what to paint because you guys know I like to paint something too. A bunny. I can do a bunny. Maybe a bunny sitting in some grass would be cute on the bottom. There goes my neighbors. We've gotten Mary's cold wind down here. Not that it's as cold as up her way, but it was most unpleasant after you've gotten used to 70 and 80 degrees. My brush cup, I got it thrifting. This one was just at a thrift store. I'm not sure what it came in. It doesn't say anything on the bottom, but I got that for my glue. And then this is for my paint brushes. And this is from, it said edible arrangement on the bottom of it. Both were found at Goodwill. And you guys, I saw something on Pinterest. So guess what I'm looking for now? I want a really cool looking ashtray. You want to know why? Because they were using it as a paintbrush stand. It was so blipping cool looking. I was like, oh, now I need an ashtray. I want a really cool looking one. Pinterest, the black hole of ideas. Scott can't stand it. He hates Pinterest. Sounds like he's fixing the fence for me, so I can quit griping about the dog not being able to go out. I can hear ka-chunk, ka-chunk going on. I just feel bad for her. And oh, that's something else I have to do today. I poured out the very last of the dog food onto her plate, and she's like, "What? That's it?" It wasn't even a full portion, so I've got to go get dog food. I don't know about the rest of you, but I was so shocked at prices yesterday at the grocery store. $4.29 for a dozen eggs. I about fell out the side of the buggy. Y'all call them shopping carts. Down here, they're called buggies. That's cool. I came across the bunnies that I painted a few years ago. There's one sitting here somewhere. I just was looking at it this morning. Oh, here he is. And I was going to send them to nieces and nephews several years ago. Remember those bunnies? But I went ahead and I turned several of them into cards, and I'm just going to write letters to my mom on them. We've taken to just writing letters now. Who is it? It's Callie. What is Daddy doing? Is Daddy outside? Now I've got glue out, baby. Don't jump up here. You can get up on the other end of the table, but not this one. Oh, is that it? I was wondering why eggs had gone through the roof. It's bad enough milk is over $4 a gallon. Greg goes through a lot of milk. I have to be careful with dairy. I love dairy. It doesn't necessarily love me. We went for ice cream last night. Shh. We got banana splits. It was very good. Zesto's was packed. Everybody had ice cream on their mind, I guess, or chicken. They have the best fried chicken in KC, West Columbia. I want these glued down really good. I guess I should put some on the back of the envelope too, but oh, this is the one that goes on here. Now, I'm looking at this, and I'm almost thinking I might do a little bit of knockback on a lot of this color that's off the edges, just with a real light dusting of the white. And then I'll put my bunny on, but I won't go over these flowers. I'll just do around the perimeter just to knock that orange back a little bit because it's quite intense. And I want the bunny and the flowers to be the focal point. Does that make sense? Let's see here. Oh, Mary, that's true. It could, if I got a nice big one, it could be a palette. Yeah, I know. I've told Scott, I said, we might have to become full-on vegetarians and you might have to go without meat. I wouldn't have a problem with that because I don't really care for it anymore too much. I made chicken wings last night because Greg's had those chicken wings in the freezer for almost a year and they're nearing they need to go in the trash bit. So I need to put these on here in a bunch now. Now these, because the flowers, some of them are kind of I might hand paint them. I might put one down here and two up there. And I'm just using my glue brush so I don't get glue all over the tag. This glue brush is starting to show its age. It's losing hairs. I could just put this down so I quit getting glue all over my finger. Because it's making my finger sticky. And then I'm doing like Mary and picking everything up after I've glued it down. I think I need to dig up my garden area again. And I won't have raised beds this time because that's just too much expense for us to go to right now. But I'm really leaning toward putting in at least a little spot to have some fresh vegetables. I have garlic out there that came up in the grass. I've been mowing around it. Scott wants to get the scapes off it. The little part that comes, the bud basically of a garlic is real spicy flavored. It's almost hot, and it's really good in scrambled eggs. So he's stalking the garlic. It was garlic we had planted in our raised beds that we missed, and it came up. I've got so much yard work. I'm like Mary. It's getting to the point where I need to spend more time in the yard. So I'm thinking y'all might just get more gardening type videos for a while, if you don't mind. I have a list of things I've got to do, so I might not be able to watch quite as many, but I try, or at least have y'all playing in the background while I work away, because I need to get Project Dress a Girl dresses started. I've got 2 cut out. I've had them cut out for 2 months. Made by Pam, man. She's on the ball. I think she said she's got 9 or 10 dresses made already for that. Oh gosh. I need to hurry because my back it's about to say, forget it. Yeah, I think I will maybe go over these with markers or something. Maybe that's what I'll do with the doodles, is bring the flowers out more. So there's that. Now we need to put something on this ATC. Let's just do a little grouping of leaves with some flowers down here at the bottom. Put it on the... Somebody's mowing. That's something I need to do. Somebody's snoring. I think it's Greg. I think he went out after he got off last night. His grandmother would say, "You been at some beer joint?" And he probably has. He's 35, almost 36. I think I'm only going to put this one flower on here. Yeah, I don't want to crowd them too much. And if I decide to, I've got some leaves punched out here and one flower. I can punch out some more flowers and add them to the back of the envelope. But let's move on. We've used our scraps. All right, let me see. Let's bring this back. I'm really leaning toward knocking that orange back because it's really, really loud. It's screaming at me. It's like pink for Mary. Yeah, I think I've seen that too, where they've made tomato paste from dehydrated tomatoes. You just grind them up, right? All right, let's pull number 9. Oh boy, we still got quite a few to do. Number 9 says bubble wrap. See, this is where I can knock that orange back. Bubble wrap. Why did I put it all the way to the bottom? Now, Cindy Utter taught me to put your paint on a piece of paper and then sponge it onto your bubble wrap, and then you don't get big blobs. I learned that from Cindy. I should have saved my white, but I didn't know that I was going to do this. Okay, Carol, thank you for helping me. I hope you feel better. And I hope your blood pressure comes down. My sister battles that. I will also be putting the prompts in the description box when I sign off. You see, that knocks that orange into the background. There we go. Put a little bit on our tag. I'll put some on the back of the envelope too. I just want the front to dry real quick. And just a little bit of this, maybe up here and here. And this one is really kind of light already. Put some there, there, there. There we go. All right, this has got to sit somewhere to dry. I don't clean the bubble wrap. I just leave it, and then it makes this really cool looking stuff. Oh, I wish I could find that book. My little, maybe it's on that. Here. Here's another envelope from Spectrum. They want us back. Not happening. All right, good enough. Good enough. Oh, no, I forgot to do the back. Okay. Maybe there's enough here that I can just do this. It kind of shows bubble wrap on the back. We're going to call that good enough. Good enough. All right. Those two. All right. That was, oh, I didn't write that down. Use scraps and then bubble wrap. That was 9. Number 10. Number 9 is bubble wrap. Number 10 is use painty paper. Use painty paper. Let's see what we got here. Just some little strips of painty paper. Is there any? These are just little. I was going to save these to put words on, to stamp words on the back side. I'm going to put those over here so I can do that and get some words printed off to dump in to my Bits and Bob's book. Just tearing off the white edge real quick. Let's see here. There was 2 pieces there. I don't know if this goes. I'm going to use the other 2. I'll throw this in Bits and Bob's. All right. I'm just going to put a few little pieces of this on here. Maybe glue a piece there. Maybe one up here. Really need it in 3 places though. Maybe put this one down on the bottom here. Just glue them down. I could, because my back is screaming, I may have taken the time to ink the white edges, but right now I'm trying to finish up real quick. I'll just glue this on here. And some of this will get hidden, under the bunny. Or the, whatever comes next. Because we got, what, 2 more to do? I know everybody's got a lot to do on Saturdays too, and I don't want to keep you too long. Mary, if you need to go, just let me know, and I can read off the last 2 prompts that we're going to draw so you can type them in, because I don't want to keep you. I know Saturdays are usually your down day. All right, so we'll put those on the front. And then I want the same paper put on the back. 1, 2, 3. And I can blend these pieces into my background by maybe using some of the paints I've kept out that I've used in the background. So like Carol will sometimes stitch over something and then or yeah, she'll stitch something down and then she'll do stitches over it and then go past the edge of this what she stitched down. You can do that with paper too. When you're doing your doodling, you could make stitch lines on there. I might do that because I can't sew on the envelope. Now I could sew on the tag and the ATC. Try not to get it up too high because I don't want to be in the way of the flap. We got some interesting prompts here today. And I appreciate y'all coming in on Saturday. I needed this envelope. So I said, well, I will go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so there's my envelope. I need to add a little something to the tag. Maybe we'll tear this brown off. I'm trying to get rid of the white edge. Maybe I'll put this down here. I could have just cut that off. Yeah, kind of like that. We'll do that. And remember, I have to go back and doodle, but I'll do that after everything is good and dry. I've ruined so many Posca pens and pens on wet paint and stuff that now I hold my doodles and wait until it's had a lot of time to dry. So this video is brought to you by Dawn at Let's Make a Mess because I needed an envelope, an ATC, and a tag for her swap. So this is like a bonus video on the week. And that also covers some more of that kind of white area in the background or cream area. And I will probably ink the edges on the tag and the ATC. These are all so harsh looking. This one might work. Get rid of this white edge on here. That works. I will layer other things on this or maybe paint something on it. Maybe turn it this way. Oh yeah, I like it that way better. All right, I'm going to put this down. I can also lighten this piece of paper. It doesn't have to stay like this. I can lighten it. I'm just trying to make sure I use each of the prompts on all three pieces. See, that's got a little dark blue on it. Oh, she almost got a tippy hair. All right. Everything's got the painty paper on it. Number 11 says, I didn't call them yet, Mary. Background stamps is number 11. Background stamps. I hadn't called them yet. And this is something we can do that's quick. So let me grab a background stamp. And I'm just going to use the same background stamp and put a little bit on each one. Let's see here. This always says springtime to me, the little teeny leaves. And I'm having to get used to it where I've moved everything. It's cracking me up because I'm like spinning. And I'm sure that's how Carol felt about her piece. And I'm just going to put this, and I'm using brown. Maybe we'll just put some on here, some on here. Oh, got that one too. And it's just, it makes it kind of fade in the background because this is not a, I don't have foam under it either, but you'll be able to see some of the leaves. Let me put some on the back. Paid 89 cents for this stamp at the thrift store. Hardly beat that. I almost feel like the front needs a little bit more. And see, by knocking that back with the bubble wrap, now my little leaves can peek out here and there. Here we go. Now let's put some on the tag. And thank you, Mary, for putting them in there for me. I'm glad Carol went to lay down, though, because I was worried about her when she said how high her blood pressure was. There you go. That's a background stamp. That stays on ink. It's not going to come off anyway very much. All right. And the last prompt is coming up. What does the last prompt say? Did I put some on the back? I did. Okay. Last prompt. Add a silhouette. Well, I'm going to add my bunny, but he might not be a silhouette, but I'm going to add a bunny. So if you want to write down, add a silhouette, and then I'll let you choose what you want it to be. Add a silhouette. I mean, I could do a black outline of a bunny. Why do I have trouble with silhouette? I don't know if that's right or not. But anyway, so I'm going to doodle and add a silhouette after everything on here has dried. So thank you all for coming. And I will post pictures in the groups of how these turn out. I'm going to go and clean my kitchen up, and we'll go from there. So here's the envelope and how it turned out. And there's the back. Here's the artist trading card, how it's going so far. And I definitely need to bring this flower out up here with some paint or something. And then my tag. So that's it. And I will see you guys Wednesday at 2:30. And we'll be working on another page in our spring journal. And if you missed it, you might want to revisit Wednesday's live. It went a little long, but you can speed me up and slow me down while I'm working my way through stuff. And thank you all so much. And Mary and Carol, thank you for helping with getting the prompts listed. I'm going to sit and type them in here. And I will see you guys later. Bye.